This is Bob Beckel,
This is Cal Thomas, a conservative who is pro-life,
a liberal who once worked for Jimmy Carter,
who favors smaller government,
who believes in big government.
and in a town full of cheap shot artists, I've never heard Cal take a cheap shot.
But even when he's wrong, he's likable. And this is Common Ground.
And this is Common Ground.
Welcome again to Common Ground, a video version of Bob Beckel's and my bi-weekly USA Today column in which we try to figure out how to bridge Washington's partisan divide. Bob, today we're going to talk about lying in politics. Boy, if that's not redundant.
Yeah.
Are more politicians lying today, do you think? You've been watching them for a long time from the inside and the outside, or are we just finding out more about it because of the internet?
You know, I'd like to think it was just because of the internet, but I think it's the quality of politicians you're getting, you know. But the internet certainly contributes to that. Anybody who thinks that they can get away with saying anything in this day and age and not be caught by the internet, by YouTube, by somebody doing Twitter is making a great mistake. Politicians, it's almost in their DNA that they've got to exaggerate. And, you know, here's the thing that bothers me. Lying, it may be interpreted by some people to just be a lie. That's not true. I consider lying among politicians fudging the facts or doing something, saying one thing and doing something else.
Yeah, or like Richard Blumenthal in Connecticut lying about his record in Vietnam. Yeah. And the Republican guy running for Barack Obama's seat in Illinois, same thing about Vietnam. What is it about Vietnam? Here's a war that ended, 35 years ago, and people are still lying about it. Why is that?
I got a theory about this. These are people who dodged going into the military or found a way out of Vietnam. They felt guilty about it for a long time. The other thing is it does bolster your credentials as a politician, but anybody who says, I've done something specific or I've won a medal, you know, all that stuff's checkable. I mean, you don't need the internet to check that. But, you know, then you've got this guy Souter, the congressman from Indiana, who, even though he didn't tell a bold-faced lie, he gets on his webpage and says that sexual abstinence is important for young people, and the woman during the interview with him is an aide that he's having a sexual affair with.
Yeah, you can't make this stuff up.
You can't.
This is material for Letterman and Leno.
Isn't that correct?
But don't you think that it's kind of an unholy alliance here because people really want to be lied to? It's like the old line about, of course I'll respect you in the morning, the check's in the mail, I'm from the government, I'm here to help you, and the gun isn't loaded, and the microphone is off. All of these things have caught people in a lie, but people want to be told they'll be respected in the morning, and people want to believe politicians that they can walk on water and fix their lives and make them better.
You know, that's the one place where we'll break here, because I think that finally the line has come now. I think that people have finally gotten to the point where they no longer trust politicians, trust in government, which is absolutely essential if you're going to change policies, if you're going to do things that are of major importance. The country has got to trust the government to do it. And right now, the government it was 70% trusted during Jack Kennedy's time. It's down into the low 20s. So I think that trust, and with that comes all kinds of lying and obfuscation and fudging the truth and the numbers. All that has finally broken the back of the public.
Well, John McCain, of course, I think plugged into this this feeling among the public that they're tired of being lied to with his straight talk express, and he was going to tell the truth. But then Barack Obama says, you know, I'm going to part the waters and I'm going to do all these other things. And yet McCain got slammed from the far right, especially over immigration reform and some of these other things. He voted on the bailout, you know, the Obama administration. So how do you know when somebody is making a promise that they really are going to live up to it? Are we going to give them lie detector tests? Now, there's a reality show for you.
You know, I shouldn't say this, but you beg the point. If Obama can part the waters, he should part them in the Gulf and fix that
that's
bill.
right.
But, you know, here, John McCain's a good example. Here's a guy that I always thought was a straight shooter, you know. And now, when he's running for re-election, the campaign from the right, what does he do? He runs to the right on immigration. So you had an idea about what we should do with politicians. Let's got to wrap this up. What do you think?
I think it'd be fun. I think we hook them up to a lie detector test. We make it a reality show. We ask them, are you going to raise taxes? Are you going to let people in the country illegally, give them amnesty? Are you going to increase spending of government? Are you going to be faithful to your wife? I mean, let's get the whole thing on the table, and let's get those ratings up on the screen and hold them accountable after they're elected.
And I'll tell you, you're going to have very few politicians serving in Washington, D.C. All right, listen, check out our column in the paper and on USA Today's opinion blog at usatoday.com. Thanks for tuning in, and come back again for the next installment of Common Ground.